So now that we have our cart icon component and our cart dropdown component, we have to figure out how to trigger our cart dropdown to hide and show based off clicking the cart icon. Now, you might be wondering if we could just bind that functionality into our header component, because both these components are here, and using our local component state, we could possibly add an onClick handler here that updates a state value on our header that sets it to true or false, and then based off of that true-false value, we just hide or show this cart dropdown. And that would be entirely valid if we were certain that the only way we wanted to hide or show our cart dropdown was within our header component. But because we are not sure of that, perhaps we want to show or hide our cart dropdown in another component. We want to move that functionality and that capability outside of the header component and inside of our global Redux state. Now, how do we do that? Well, first, let's create the Redux files. And they'll look very similar to our user files. So instead of user, we'll call it cart, and we'll make a cart.actions.js, a cart.reducer.js, and a cart.types.js. Now, starting with our reducer, we know that we need an initial state where the hidden value is true, because we want to hide our dropdown when they first come to our website. Then we're going to have our cart reducer equal to a function where state is equal to our initial state if no value comes in, so default value of initial state, and then our action. And using a switch statement on the action.type, we will now selectively render with a case of, let's say, toggle cart hidden. The reason why we want to use a toggle versus a set is because our cart component will either be in a true or false state. So it's either hidden or not hidden, right? And we know that we're mainly switching it back and forth between true and false. So instead of passing in a value for our action.payload, what we can actually do is we can say hidden is equal to bang state.hidden. So that exclamation mark is saying that whatever this Boolean value is, I want you to convert it to the opposite of it, right? So if it's true, I want it to be false. If it's false, I want it to be true. And then by default, we want to return just the state. Now, this, of course, is a string, but we want to make an action type for it. So let's go to our cart.actions, and let's export default cart action types, where toggle cart hidden goes to the string toggle cart hidden. And now we just need to import that from our cart types, and it will be cart action types toggle cart hidden. And we'll export out our reducer as the default. So now we have our code. Oh, maybe I gotta move this down here. Sometimes our linter yells at us. Now, to make the actual, oh wait, I moved it. Oh, sorry, I put this in the wrong file. Cart types, my bad, wrong file. That's definitely confusing. The file naming conventions. It's a thing that always used to throw me off when I was first learning Redux. So definitely don't feel bad, because we all make these mistakes. Now, the cart action. We actually need to make the action now. So let's import in our cart action types from cart types. And what our value will be we will set it as export const toggle cart hidden is equal to a function. And we're not going to pass a payload because we don't need one. We're just going to set type equal to cart action types dot toggle cart hidden. Payload is actually an optional property on our action object. And inside of a reducer, we're not actually using the payload inside of this respective case, right? So there's no need for us to pass a payload. We just need to know that if it's of this type, we're just going to switch it from whatever its previous state was to its opposite state. And now, inside of cart icon, let's bind that action here. So let's import connect from React Redux. And let's bring in our action type from Redux cart actions toggle cart hidden, and we need our map dispatch to props, which gets a dispatch, and we're going to call it toggle cart hidden will just be a function that triggers the dispatch of toggle cart hidden. And now we'll pass this into our connect function, passing null as the default. So now we'll be able to access toggle cart hidden here, and we can just bind it on click, like so. And now, if we look, we'll see that we fire the action. Now, of course, our state is updating. Oh, we actually have to add our cart reducer to our root reducer. So that's a step that we always got to remember. So cart reducer from our cart reducer. So this is another common mistake that we make when we first start using Redux as well, is that we'll forget to import and add our cart to our cart reducer. So now if we look, we'll see that our cart by default is hidden true. If we click it, we'll see that now it's false. So now we just have to hide and show this drop down based off of that value. So let's go back to our header component, and we'll import in, oh, we already have our map state to props. So what we need to destructure off of our state is also now the cart and then the hidden value. So I'm actually going to show you a more advanced way to destructure as well. So off of our state, we want the user, and off the user, we want the current user. So this is the syntax you write when you want to destructure nested values, right? So by going colon and then another destructure bracket, we're saying I want you to give me this value off of the user, which is being destructured off of the state. So similarly, we will do that off of the cart, and we want the hidden value. And then instead of this, we can now just do that. And now we'll pull the hidden value off, and we can just selectively render this based off of a ternary operator. So if it's hidden, if hidden is true, then I want to render nothing. But if it's not, then render the cart dropdown component. And now if we look, we can see that we can toggle our dropdown. Now before we add our add item feature to our cart and to our application, let's commit our code. So we know that what we are adding is our cart icon, added cart icon, and cart dropdown components to our application. Also implemented cart reducer. And then let's push. and continue with our add item.